Welcome to my Night of the Living Dead 1968 filming locations. Join me as I visit Evans City Cemetery in Evans City, Pennsylvania, the property in which the farmhouse once stood, and even check out some artifacts at the Living Dead Museum in the Monroeville Mall. Join me for Night of the Living Dead filming locations. Barbara and Johnny approach this way, and they pull an extremely sharp right U-turn into the Evans City Cemetery. Pretty cool. These roads have not been redone, I don't think, since 1968, and that's mind-boggling to think, but I don't think they have. Look at that. And this is where the original sign was. Again, there's the sign in its place right there. There was a sign in its place that looked like had some bloody bullet holes and a very eerie looking sign. Similar to a warning sign, but this is the sign that sits in its place. Evans City Cemetery. You notice this gigantic ball monument here to the left, seen extremely prominently, probably the most prominent marker in that shot as they're passing by. Just some random driving shots before they arrive at their father's stone. Up right here in front of this tree and the chapel from the film right here. There it is. Chapel from Night of the Living Dead. Wow. And so you get a lot of angles here, of course, later in the film when the zombies attacking her from this side, hitting the window with the brick. If you look this way, none of these trees were there, and you could actually see some of the mountain ranges and the hills, the foresty hills in the distance. You can't see those anymore. All these trees have grown up a lot, but pretty darn sure that this tree is in the film. You look at the size and all of the growth on it, it was a lot smaller in the film. It's my brother over here. Pretty sure that is the tree. Oh, you have a match. Okay, my brother's got a match here. See, here's from the color version of the film. There's that tree right there to the right of the chapel. There's Johnny and Barbara. The car. Here is it, the tree, the chapel, and our vehicle today. Yeah, that thing's gotten big. That's it, though.
Over the radio? Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
And we see Johnny and Barbara approach their father's stone, which you're going to find right here, right next to the legendary screen-used Blair stone, which in the film you only see about the IR or the AIR. But this is the legendary Blair stone, and this is where their father's grave was. So he kneels down to put the cross down. Actually the grave of Grace and George Cole. Grace, who died 1949, and George 1943. You don't see this in the film, but they would have died before the filming of the movie in 1968. That's what's on the other side. Here's the other side of the Blair stone right here. Wow, very cool. So there would have been a tree right here, and when you see them approach, that's where he kneels down and puts the cross. I don't know why we buy another cross. Bring another one out every year, and the one from the year before is gone. She says, I guess the caretaker comes and takes it away. Barbara's kneeling down by the stone. Johnny's kind of looking into the sky, and he's playing with his gloves. He keeps taking his driving gloves on and off, and putting them on and off. And he's going, come on, Barb. Church was this morning. As he says earlier, you think I want to waste a whole Sunday coming out here? We're gonna have to move the grave into Pittsburgh. It's funny because Pittsburgh's literally like 30 minutes away, but zombie comes walking down this pathway right here. It's worn-in pathway. It's been just like that since it was filmed in the 60s. Coming by that monument right there, seen in the film, did not have that rundown stuff there. Old stone though. You see the zombie come right by that stone. I like to take you right up to the stones in my videos. This is the Smather stone. That's pretty cool. Wow. Screen used. Night of the Living Dead. So, zombie comes down this way.
Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny!
Right out from behind that tree. Grandpa said, "Boy, jabba dum to hell. They're coming to get you, Barbara, for Miss Blair Stone. They're coming for you, Barbara."
Ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it!
The zombie does quite an interesting walk because he comes from this direction in that first shot. Then you see him back over in this direction because he comes by this stone. And if you're looking for the exact stones, you also see him from the other side of this knock stone. So here's the front of it. The knock stone right here. This is the angle you get. This Boyer stone right here. So you got the knock stone, the Boyer stone, and the angle's from over here. So he comes from over there first, then eventually he's over around here. You see that stone, you can make that out, and you can make that out as he makes his way over to Barbara, because then he ends up back on the path over here to accost Barbara.
He'll hear you!
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny! Oh! No!
Look, that comes one of them now. Shh, he'll hear you. I'm getting out of here. Johnny starts running. As he heads the opposite direction, Barbara starts walking in this vicinity, and as the zombie gets closer, he accosts her. He starts attacking her, and she screams, and then you see Johnny come back, and he tussles with the zombie right here in this vicinity. So they're brawling right here, and when that's going on, Barbara clutches to this stone right here, the infamous Nicholas Kramer stone. Right there. Get a better shot of that. We got Barbara right here. He's tussling with the zombie in this vicinity. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly the vicinity, like exactly the spot where they're standing. He hits his head off the stone right there. Barbara's still over here by the Nicholas Kramer stone. And then that's when we first see that legendary shot of the zombie raising his head, the crooked teeth looking at Barbara. One of the most infamous zombie scenes in the history of horror right there. Final establishing shots here of the stone that he hit his head off of right there. Clyde Lewis Myers. And yeah, check that out. Infamous Nicholas Kramer stone. It'd be rather hard to film yourself. Something like that. One more look here at this Nicholas Kramer stone.
So yeah, when she starts running, it's like she almost goes this way.
Yeah, it's almost like she would have to run up the road.
She
but
starts running up the road.
yeah, and she falls up there closer to the chapel. So we'll head over there. Some coverage of that, but I'm gonna give you a few more looks. Final looks. Clyde Lewis Myers, the stone he hit his head off. This legendary Nicholas Kramer monument. That one's great. Look, someone left a little ducky. This is the one. Her hand was right there. Barbara running this way. It's too bad those trees aren't still here. They look similar to these trees, but those are not them. He brushes those out of the way. She comes this way, and there is a slight continuity error because you definitely see her coming up this road, and you can see the chapel in the distance, but when she falls, it's up over here. So they come up this way, you see her running on the road. You see the chapel come into view. She's running back to the car, but when she falls, it's up here. In this embankment area right here. She loses her shoe. And he chases her back to the vehicle. Some more great shots of this beautiful chapel. Kept alive by Night of the Living Dead fans. And this amazing tree too. She gets back in the vehicle here. And he's hitting the windows trying to get in. Eventually he comes around back right here, this side of the chapel. And he finds a brick. It's right here where he's hitting it up against the glass. She's screaming. Finally shatters the glass. All those screams, everything, it just plays in my head. Legendary. And she finally pulls the lever and the car starts rolling. And that was an actual scene. I mean, I was actually just rolling the car down the hill. And so people have said that these are not the trees. I cannot say for sure if this is where she runs into the tree. Of course, they did that scene because there were big dents in the car and they needed to kind of explain that. It's cool though to come down here anyways because you get a good shot of this side of the chapel. Man, look at those bricks. That's wicked. I swear to God. So I can't attest to it fully, but it had to have been down here. The trees aren't even really close to the road here, but where else would they have done it? Most likely one of these trees down here. A few more shots. The Night of the Living Dead Chapel. Screen used. An honor to be here. So we're gonna go attempt to finish the video over at the farmhouse, which Barbara ran to after exiting the car, after hitting the tree. Yeah, perfect time of year too. Good ambiance. Got a good sunny day today. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna move on to the farmhouse. Pretty cool. It's too bad there are no bricks over here. No bricks over here, but it's okay. I can't shatter one of these windows anyway, so. The chapel is not open today. Pretty cool though. Could probably get a quick peek in there. Look at that. Touching the legendary stone bricks from Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Shot of the interior of the chapel there, which most people don't usually show. Pretty much just an empty chapel. Pretty quaint though. Vicinity right here where the zombie would have found the brick. Well, pretend that it's this notebook for now. He picks up the brick over here and he's hitting the vehicle, and we get an angle facing this direction, so you see the zombie coming at her. Finally he does break the window. Well, establishing shots of this Blair monument. It's the one everybody wants to see most of all. This would have been their father's stone. Really, it's the Cole stone. So again, here's the angle from the beginning as they approach, and like that. Just like that. There was a tree here and no longer there. They're coming for you, Barbara. They're coming for you.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
I'm going to show it from this angle, as you see in the film. The zombie comes down this path right here. I'm getting out of here. He runs the opposite direction. And then she says later in the film that she was going to apologize to the man, but you don't see that happening. Actually, he accosts her, and then she screams. Johnny comes back to save her, and he starts wrestling the zombie right here. Right here where my brother's standing. In front of the Clyde Lewis Myers stone. She clings to this one, Nicholas Kramer. Can't go through this enough. She has her hand right here. And then wrestles the zombie to the ground. The zombie gets back up, wrestles him to the ground, and then he falls right here. Let me give the camera to my brother. He gets pulled down right here, hitting his head right there. That brings us up the road here just about 8 or 9 minutes. And this is where the farmhouse was. Just up this lane. This is a private road, so I'm not going to enter. But you can see that brown house right there. That was built on the same property spot as the white farmhouse. So when Barbara approaches and she finds the gas pumps and stuff, she's on this property here. Some of these trees might still actually match up right here from the film. That whole epic film filmed at this house next to the cemetery scenes we just covered was all here on this property. So Barbara's in the house, and then he appears as a zombie. And when the African gentleman shows up to her, she thinks he's a zombie, but he immediately grabs her and brings her back into the house. He introduces himself. That all happened right here. That is pretty surreal. I'm not gonna stay. Just imagine though, all those zombies ascending upon this property. That's it. Can't say for sure where those gas pumps would have been. Obviously they're not there now. The house is gone. Just too bad a smaller house now sits on its spot, but this is it. I really appreciate it, everybody. If you stayed to the end of the video, 'tis the season for spooky content. Please like, please subscribe if you're new here. Subscribe and I'll let you know when a new episode goes up. Never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasha Show. From beautiful Evans City, Pennsylvania, thank you again. The property used in George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Thanks again, everybody. Have a spooky and safe Halloween. Stay tuned to the channel and watch out for zombies. They're lurking. Some shots for this filming location video. Spice it up. There's a copy of Night of the Living Dead right here. It's the cemetery scene right there. Dwayne Jones, Russell Striner, Judith O'Day. Little sector here at the Monroeville Mall.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection
This
stations.
is the radio.
At this hour, they report the level of the
I'm pretty
mysterious
sure this is the
radiation
Screen News
continues
radio
to
from Night of the
increase
Living
steadily.
Dead.
So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation.
Them inside the farmhouse there. From the 45th anniversary, Night of the Living Dead right there. Whole section here on original
Covering
classic.
such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed
After
that a ghoul
50 years,
can
they
be
still
killed
won't stay dead.
by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
And the fans up there fix the chapel.
Will that just give people time to make any arrangements?
The fans would not let the Evans City Chapel die in the cemetery.
must be carried to the street.
Awesome. These are actual pieces. These are actual pieces right here from the chapel where it was touched up. So the bricks. Pretty cool. Evans City Cemetery Chapel artifacts. Really used at the farmhouse. These are interior can lights right here, used by lighting engineer Joe Unitas. These were used 1968, Night of the Living Dead. It's incredible. A few more photos over here. A few more photos over here, farther back from production. And then the farmhouse. Yeah, I am pretty dead certain this is the radio that they are gathering around in the farmhouse from the film.
In Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report.
Is it the radio? Is that the
All law
radio?
enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghoul.
More emotional posters here. The original horror masterpiece, and you got some production shots here. Barbara and this Evans Hill Cemetery. That was so cool to visit that. Here's some production photos. All those stones we went over. That is them filming zombie attacking her.
And so this incredible story becomes more
There's them inside the farmhouse.
difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening.
Very awesome.
These are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you. Reports which
The
have been
original
verified as
zombie.
completely as is possible in this confused
Can't believe we
situation.
just visited
It
that
is
spot.
happening. Because of the
Yeah.
obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. The level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will
Sheriff's
continue to be
gun belt.
transformed into the
And then
fleshy
look at
ghouls.
that.
All persons who die
There's all
during
that
this
there.
crisis, for whatever cause, come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation.
While we're still on Night of the Living Dead here, I wanted to show this diorama of the farmhouse. Very cool. You got the truck there. Sorry about the glare here. All the zombies ascending on the house. The Night of the Living Dead film book here. This talks about all kinds of production secrets and
The shed.
the alternate covers that they had for this. Of course, available in color as well. So. Man, that's wicked. George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Ooh, look at how many different copies there is of this. I like that one. I like that one. Yeah, man, I'm gonna buy all of these. I just made. This is a good bonus for this video. A couple other things we're going to show.
There we go. Thank you.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.